George Griffith here from Surfside Wellness Center, Barbados, Allmax Fitness Extravaganza. Allmax TV here with my man Shane DeFreitas, National Olympic gymnast. Shane, you want to tell us a little bit about your background in fitness and gymnastics?
Sure. When I was in Barbados, I started martial arts, wushu. By the time the family moved to Orlando, I was 11, and that's really where I started my formal gymnastics training. I went through the ranks in Florida, and when I was done with the junior level, it was a what's next question, which is when I started competing for Barbados at some of the smaller international competitions, went all the way up to World Championships, and eventually the '96 Olympics.
I didn't realize you had a martial arts background as well.
Yeah, about 2 or 3 years when I was younger.
So you're not doing the Nick Diaz MMA camp?
No, I don't think so.
Might still be a second career coming.
Yeah, who knows?
Mess up that pretty facey.
I have a few scars. I'm sure I'd end up with a few more, but that's all right. It's part of the game.
Absolutely. So you did the competition last year.
Yes.
The Allmax Fitness Challenge last year at the National Stadium in Barbados. What did you think about the competition last year?
Competition was great. Had a solid field. Initially, when I looked at the layout of the events, I knew there was some that I would be a strong contender in, the body weight stuff. When I looked at some of the weights that were on the floor, or could have been on the floor because it was unknown at that time, I questioned whether I should do it at all. But you know, it's one of these things that if you only entered because you thought you were going to win, we wouldn't have many people entering.
Correct.
And that's also not what kind of that CrossFit community and feel is about, right? You use it as something to peak and cycle for. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose, and in CrossFit, we cheer on the last guy through the gate. So what did I have to lose? Might as well, right? You know, I ended up winning the burpee and sit-up challenge, ended up 5th place in the end. You know, the camaraderie and the general excitement of an event like that are fantastic.
Well, this year, you'd get a medal for winning that burpee challenge, that gymnastics challenge, because we're giving medals for each individual event.
That's great.
As well as for the overall competition. So medals to be won from the burpee challenge, the track event, swim, all the way through.
Great.
So far, 3 events have been released to the public. What do you think of the 3 events so far?
Burpees are fantastic. They're one of the most versatile fitness tools we have. You can do them anywhere. Just about anyone can do them, and you can make them pretty easy or pretty difficult depending on what add-ons you put to a burpee. And a run and a swim is especially for us in Barbados with the waters we have, is kind of standard fitness stuff, I think.
Correct. Okay, so there's also that world record burpee challenge, right? We have Lee Ryan. Lee Ryan's a guy lives in Dubai now. He's from Great Britain. He's got the record of 46 burpees in a minute. Didn't know if you saw me in the other video breaking that record the other day.
I saw a little clip.
You saw a little clip. Right? Guinness won't verify it for some reason. You know, we'll try again. How close do you think you're going to be to that record?
I actually don't know. I do a lot of burpees, and I'm pretty good at burpees. The CrossFit community tends to use a full push-up burpee, whereas the Guinness Book of World Records standards are slightly different. So I haven't actually trained up to that kind of reps in that short of a time. That's on the table. We have a couple months left still, so I'll see in the upcoming weeks or month how realistic breaking that might be.
Right. If you had to think overall, we know there's a speed challenge coming on day 2, which hasn't been announced yet. But people could probably work that one out. We have a power challenge, which you won't be able to work out. The strength stuff is, you know, CrossFit athletes are very familiar with the strength. And then there's a speed, agility, and quickness challenge. Where do you see yourself as being really strong, and where do you see yourself as maybe having some challenges?
I'm generally fast and agile, and I have a great strength to body weight ratio. So anything that falls in those, I should be okay with. You know, I'm only 150 pounds, 5'4", so you put a 300-pound deadlift on the floor, a guy who weighs 2 or 225 has a serious advantage over me at 150. So when it comes to raw weights, I'm going to struggle. If something like, say, a snatch or a full clean and jerk are thrown in, where the technique and skill level is upped a bit more, I can maybe hold my own slightly better in those. And then when it comes to speed and agility, you know, pull-ups, push-ups, burpees, I should be a strong contender, I'm hoping at least.
Right. Well, I think this year I will definitely say there is a snatch.
Nice.
and that's all I'm going to say until the second round of events are released on August 17th. That's when the next 3 events will be released, August 17th. Couple weeks. And then the last event will be released on September 17th. That last event will be stuff you see typically in any CrossFit box or any gym, so I don't even think you really need to train for it if you're going to a box regularly.
Currently.
So you're currently affiliated with which CrossFit box?
With CrossFit Island Fit.
Island Fit. There are 2 affiliates on the island, right? Island
That's
Fit
correct.
and
246.
right? So there's 2 affiliates on the island, and there's also 1 Barbados, and there's a couple other people who are doing CrossFit training, so people have more.
There's always garage gyms as well.
Garage gyms, yeah. And really all you need is a bar and a box and maybe a rowing machine, right?
Yeah, there's a few pieces of equipment that maybe you should have, but if somebody trains their engine, they're strong, they're mobile, there's no reason you can't jump on and into a CrossFit competition and be fairly ready, even if you don't have all the equipment.
Right.
And the CrossFit community is very friendly. If someone knows they're getting ready for Allmax and they don't have a rower,
Right.
I'm sure they can come by,
Absolutely.
once every other week, put in a rowing wad. I know we have rowing specific wads as well too. Lots of the boxes have things like, I teach a gymnastics wad at ours. So if you want to work on your kipping pull-up skills, for example,
Right.
there's rowing wads. People do running wads, So, and you guys are doing swim training for those
Correct.
people who can't swim or can't swim well, maybe just want to swim better.
Right.
So anybody who's interested in this and thinks maybe,
Right.
take advantage of the resources you have and get yourself up to speed and ready for this comp.
Okay, so the CrossFit definition of gymnastics is any body weight exercise.
Yes.
Obviously, we see people doing handstand walks and handstand push-ups and a few of those other things. I can guarantee the non-CrossFit community that there's no handstand walks.
That's unfortunate.
Even though I'm pretty good myself, and there's no handstand push-ups neither in the competition. Ideally, even though this is it's a cross-training competition,
Right.
CrossFit is obviously the best known brand out there in the market, but we want it to be very general. We want it to be for people who are training from wherever to be able to come and take part in the event and not feel disadvantaged in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
But generally, what sort of advice would you have for anyone who is training for the gymnastic component?
Gymnastics component, again, take advantage of some of the resources you have. I teach an adult gymnastics class. The CrossFit community has gymnastics skills built in, and they should work on those. The thing is, as CrossFit puts it, and you're saying you're not going to have the high-level gymnastic stuff, a lot of it is just doing,
Right.
Things like push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups. The basics and the strength component of it is doing them,
Right.
is getting competent at reps under fatigue.
Right.
If you do have pull-ups and things like kipping and butterfly pull-ups are allowed, that's a heavy skill component that needs to be developed over time,
Right.
and that's when you should maybe get a professional trainer or a gymnastics instructor like myself to help with.
Good. Okay, any general words you want to leave with the audience?
Yeah, just let's all get ready, have fun, and bring that CrossFit spirit together for another good comp.
Thank you very much, Shay.
Thank you, George.
George Griffith here for Allmax TV, bringing you news, views, and updates on everything to do with the Allmax Fitness Extravaganza. October 2015, Barbados. Check the website, www.allmaxfitnesschallenge.com.